The views expressed are not necessarily those of KSCJ and Powell Broadcasting Company. This program is not intended to replace the advice of doctors or other clinical providers. Consult with your practitioner to ensure the proper course of action for you.
Welcome to When Things Aren't Going Well on AM 1360, FM 94.9 KSCJ. This program is dedicated to your mental health wellness and brought to you by Family Services, a United Way partner agency. Here's your host, Art Silva.
Good morning, Siouxland. I'm Art Silva, and our show is brought to you by Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, serving the Siouxland community since 1894. Hey, we got a great show for you today, and one of the things that affects mental health of people in our community, more than a lot of other things, is the access to food and the access to services that help them go through their daily lives. Today, I got a special guest with you, Tina Stroud, Executive Director of the Sunnybrook Hope Center, and Tina's going to talk about the Hope Program and how it can help you. So, good morning, Tina, and welcome.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us on today.
Oh, this is a treat. You're doing a lot of great things over there, so I thought it'd be wonderful if we just share that with the community. It could maybe some answers to some of the problems they're having. So I'm glad that you're here. First of all, let's get a little background on Tina Stroud.
Well, gosh, I've been here in Sioux City since I'm a proud graduate of Briarcliff College at the time. Yes, go Chargers. Very excited, and met my college sweetheart and married. And then we chose to stay around the community. We have been blessed with 6 beautiful adopted children.
Oh, wonderful.
Our life is very, very full, and thankfully they're grown, most of them now. So that's always a good sign, right, as a parent?
Well, I remember telling my mother one time when the kids got ready to leave school and leave the house and go off to school, this is great. I said, I can walk around the house now in my underwear, and my kids are all gone. And some little thing like that. And she said, hey, you'll always be parenting.
Yes.
And is that so true?
So true, so true. So we've been very, very blessed by the Lord. And I've just had a privilege to serve so many different nonprofits in the Siouxland community, and really has touched my heart. I've just been so grateful, whether it was starting with Alzheimer's Association, then at Unity Point at Children's Miracle Network, most recently at Briarcliff University, before God called me into ministry at Sunnybrook Hope Center.
Tina, I do believe that God puts you where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he has things that are his plan that he wants to get done, and we're assigned to go do it. I've known you in your nonprofit lifespan, and you're so well respected. You've done such a great job everywhere you go, and I think you answer the calling. And this Hope Program that's going on at Sunnybrook Church really is a calling. So Let's tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, Art, we're celebrating our 5th anniversary this year.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. So 5 years ago, the church really decided to look at, there was a significant need in the community. People really struggling, needing help for some of those basic needs. We know food is one of them, right? And access to food, but also help with rent and utilities and many other things. And so after a lot of prayer, they decided, you know what? I think we're being called to respond to that need in the community as one organization. So how can we do that, and what can we do differently? And so they founded a separate nonprofit, Sunnybrook Hope Center. And the first service that we opened was what is called our Choice Food Pantry. It actually looks like a small grocery store. It's not a traditional pantry model. We wanted to disrupt that and really focus on dignity, because we realize that we all have hard seasons that we go through, whatever that may be. You're not alone. That's the most important thing I want people to know. And so we want to just, if you're going through a hard season, let us help you stretch your dollar at the grocery store. Let us help you serve you, and by actually empowering you to choose your own groceries for free and applying that funding maybe to cover rent this month, through the Hope Center. So it's set up like a store, and they come in and they're able to choose what matters to their family versus a traditional pantry model, which is more a box. The goal really was, we wanted to see you as Jesus sees you. We wanted to love you, no judgment, no questions asked. We recognize that you're not alone, and we want you to know that.
Oh, Tina, that just gives me goosebumps because I get it. I totally get it. There is need out here in our community, and we're a very proud community. And these are people that, when I always look at the need, I want to make sure that we're helping people that need it, and that we can get them back on their feet. What I love about your program is you're helping people to help themselves. So it's a sustaining program, and there will be different degrees of success along the way, but it's there. So
right.
I think it's fantastic. You know, we see at the end of the month decisions having to be made. Going to the doctors, coming to see a therapist, or buying or putting food on the table, or gas. And so a lot of people are living check to check, and our times are changing right now. We're in an agricultural community, and you would say, hey, how can you be hungry here? I mean, we got great services, what you're doing at the Hope Center, what the food pantry does, and our people in this community get around that. But it's not the answer. How do we sustain it? Where's the hope? Where is the ongoing faith that we're on the right track?
That's exactly right. And I think the biggest thing that many people don't know is the people that we serve are like you and me, right? We just had a difficult season. It may be, maybe they had a health issue. They were insured, they had a health issue, and all that copay just tipped them over the edge. Or their car broke down and they didn't have that extra resource. These are working families that we're serving. They're retirees that are living on a fixed income. And we know that what inflation is doing to our budget, our dollars aren't growing necessarily, our take home. And so how do we help people stretch that and make better decisions? One way we can do that is to serve them through this grocery store. And then we have other programs too to help them along the way.
Well, you hit the key word, and you said dignity. And I so believe in the dignity of the human being and how we treat each other.
Absolutely.
And, hey, I'm here to help you to help yourself. So please feel free to come in and take advantage of this program. I'm Art Silva, and you're listening to When Things Aren't Going Well. I'm here with Tina Stroud, the Executive Director of the Sunnybrook Hope Center, and we're talking about that program and what its wonderful addition it is to the community, and how it supplements a lot of people. Tina, let me ask you, when you took on this job, what was your first impressions when you looked at the mountain you had to climb?
That's so interesting because I really didn't know much about the Hope Center.
Maybe that was good.
I know. It really wasn't. I did not know. I was a member of Sunnybrook Community Church, but I just did not know really what it all entailed. And then I really was blown away by the extraordinary work that God was doing through so many people who would answer his call. So we are so fortunate to have partners like the Food Bank of Siouxland, Tyson Foods, Prairie Farms Dairy, Empirical Foods. The list goes on, who've said, you know what, we believe in your model. But then all these volunteers who've said yes to being the hands and feet of Jesus Art, like over every week we have about 150 unique volunteers who serve in the pantry, and their job is just to prepare the pantry, but then as our guests come through our front door, welcoming them, seeing them, and extending incredible love and hospitality to them. No judgment, just incredible love and support and encouragement. And that to me was the biggest thing that was just blowing my mind away about, this is kind of a bigger operation. Of course it is. It's a God-sized plan, right? And so you just need to get out of the way, Tina. But I think the other thing is that people, the misconceptions there are about people who maybe visit a pantry or going through a tough season, whatever. If you're going through a season, you're not alone. And that's the one thing I want people to know. If you have been fortunate and never had to go through a season, you need to shut down whatever you're telling yourself about people who maybe are going through a season, because you probably went through a different type of hardship in your life. And so how to be encouraging and really help people through that. Over the last 5 years, we've served just shy of 70,000 households that have walked through our door.
That's amazing.
Yeah, really. So God-sized, right? And so our goal is, so annually that breaks down to around 13 to 14,000 households that come through the doors. We're able to serve them, love them for however long they need that season. And then really our goal is to teach skills and not create dependency, but how do we create skills and teach skills? So our goal is then to understand their story, connect them with other resources in the community that do exist, and maybe they just don't know about them, other nonprofits that are doing great work. But we also have a mentorship and empowerment coaching model. And so of those 70,000 households, there's, 13,000 that are probably unique. 400 of those homes have said, you know what, I need a coach. I want to do life with a safe person. We talked about the importance of community. A lot of people in generational poverty or transitioning out of incarceration or finishing treatment, they can't go back to that old life because those were unhealthy relationships. So all of a sudden we're vetting safe people and partnering with them to actually just walk through life together as another safe person who needs nothing from you. There's nothing from you. There's no power exchange. There's nothing. And that happens so much in generational poverty.
Well, it could happen to anybody. And I think that's what we're seeing as you gave a model of the type of people that come in and use your services. It can happen to anybody. If you have a preconceived notion of these are just people that don't want to work or are looking for just to get help and a handout, that's not the case. A bad event, unemployment, we've seen more families having struggles right now, not just the individual bread owner or mom and dad, but the entire family. So it ripples through. So, getting together and having that sense of community that you provide is also very good for the mental health of these folks to get out and know you're not alone. Others have gone through this before, and they have gotten through it. Well, we're coming up on our break right now, so we want you to continue your morning chill. We'll be right back with more When Things Aren't Going Well right here on 1360 AM, 90.9 FM, KSCJ.
Oh, I forgot to take the garbage out again. My teen came home who knows when last night. That guy just cut me off. My boss totally doesn't get what I'm trying to do for his company. When will I enjoy life again? Will I ever catch up? I really should visit my parents soon before it's too late. Why is this guy in front of me stopping at a green light? Go!
It's time for a checkup from the neck up to put yourself in a better state of mind. Sometimes it all seems to be coming at us pretty fast. Our instinct is to conquer our issues before we enjoy our actual life. It seems we just can't get caught up. That's when stress and anxiety absorb everything. Family Services, Inc. is here to get you back to enjoying your life. A call to Family Services will put you on a direct path to more happiness and inner peace. It's time you appreciate the things that matter most. Let the sun heat your back and enjoy the day and laugh with guiltless, stress-free joy. Call Family Services today at 293-4900. That's 293-4900.
I feel good.
Welcome back to When Things Aren't Going Well on KSCJ. Here's Art Silva.
Welcome back to When Things Aren't Going Well. I'm Art Silva, along with Tina Stroud, Executive Director of the Sunnybrook Hope Center. We learned a lot. Tina, before we went on break, I want to recognize another word that you use that resonates with me, and that's service. You're a great example of a servant leader. All the things that you have done before, you're serving the public. I've always thought I'd like to serve the public, maybe in politics, but I got out of that idea. So
that's still service.
That's purpose. But it's the people side. What can we do to help our other brethren out there that might need a helping hand? Just temporary. Some may need a restructure. But when I do something and I got to confess, and not good. It's nothing that I did. It's the errors of omission. It's what I didn't do. You see something and you walk away from it. That's just as bad.
Yeah.
So what you're doing and that leadership you're providing over there is just fantastic. 5 years, 70,000 households in our community. That's absolutely amazing. So let's get into more of the meat of your program. Do people have to qualify for this?
Yeah. Actually, no, not at all. There's no questions asked. You don't have to prove that you have need or anything like that. So we're open twice a week. We're open on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or Thursday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. And so people can come through our door. We do operate on a reservation system, but they do not have to have a reservation. So if you're listening to this and it's you or you know of someone who might need assistance, just come through our doors during those open hours, Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or Thursday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. And we'll be glad to be able to help you and kind of show you the way and just get to hear your story a little bit more.
Well, I have a friend that is a volunteer and does work that program. And you mentioned earlier, this is not like your normal food pantry where you get a box. This is like a grocery store layout. And I think he has frozen foods, if I remember.
He's in
correctly.
produce.
Produce, okay, produce, okay. That's an important
It
job. You
is.
got to know what you're doing in
It
produce.
is.
My son worked for Hy-Vee. It was Bob Brown, and he hired, I think, every kid in Sioux City who worked at Hy-Vee at one time. And my son was over there, and I don't know if he came. He was in the produce department. Yeah. And I remember he came home one day and said, "Hey, Dad, I got a raise today." I said, "Hey, great, Chase. I got $10 an hour raise." I said, "That's fantastic. It must be you're doing a good job." Because and I don't have to work as many hours. I said, wrong way to go. Not the right thinking, but
no.
Produce, you got to have a little bit. But that's like a grocery store.
Yeah.
You walk in, you can buy produce.
Yes. So when you walk in, other things to expect is we're going to want to hear your story and your name. Just get to know you. You don't have to share anything with us. So I want people to also be reassured because there is a lot of shame that holds people back from actually reaching out to ask for help in any area, including with food. Absolutely. And we want you to know that there's no judgment. It's okay. We've all been through a season. But then we're going to ask you how many people live in your home. And our model is, again, an empowerment model. And so if you have one or two of you live in your home, we're going to give you a certain set of points. If you're a family of 8, you're going to get a few more points. And as you walk into our food store, you'll see everything has a point value. And the thing is, you get to choose how you want to spend those points based on what is important for your family. So items like milk, or fresh produce that we talked about, or bread are all complimentary. But everything else, maybe Art, you have little kids and mac and cheese is like hot. That's a point,
Yeah,
you know?
Right. That's a standard.
That's right, especially in the summer, right? But maybe I don't have kids and I'd prefer spaghetti. And so I can spend that, or oatmeal, or beets. I can choose those things. So again, it's that choice model, which really reinforces dignity and empowerment.
That is amazing because you have the flexibility to go in and, tailor make or supplement your grocery list on some of the things that you know you're going to use. Tina, that just seems like too good to be true. And with 70,000 homes that you're providing help for in this community, that shows a need.
Absolutely.
That shows a need, folks. And we don't want anybody to feel that there's a stigma attached to this because we went through that with mental health and we're trying to get rid of that stigma, and we're making great progress because it's okay not to be okay. And we don't want our folks in the community going hungry. We want healthy kids in school, healthy minds that can, it's like being on the airplane when they tell you to put the air mask on you first. That's so you can help somebody else. So, I mean, this makes so much sense. And how many volunteers do you use?
Every week we have about 150 different.
That's an army.
It is we couldn't do it without them. They are the hands and feet of Jesus. I think over the last 5 years, we've had just shy of 1,300 unique volunteers serve in some form of the ministry. It's just really remarkable. And these are people who maybe have no training, but they each also have a story and they feel so called to serve and just to love people. And that's really what I hope happens. I tell the story of a young mom who came and she told me she was sitting in her car with her son. She's a single parent. She was going back to school and just needed help for this season. And someone had referred her to the Hope Center. And she's like, I just sat in the parking lot. I thought I'm immobilized. I cannot walk through those front doors based on shame. I can't believe I'm asking. I'm always the one giving. I shouldn't be needing help. Well, with some encouragement from our volunteers serving in the parking lot, they kind of got to talk to her and encourage her to walk through. And she took time to send me a note at the end of her experience. And she said, I sat in the car then at the end of my experience, sobbing. And my son, who was in elementary school, said, Mom, are you okay? And she said, yes, that was what love feels like.
Oh, wow.
And I think if someone can come away knowing that, again, that's just reinforcing, it really is about us extending God's love to you. He sees you. He loves you. This is temporary, and we want to help you through it. It's a hand up, not out.
You've got a great program out there, but really, this program wouldn't work if it didn't come from the heart. And I think that's our strongest organ in our body is our heart. everything we do comes from our heart. Hopefully, and that people see more of that and the love. We went through a period of time, and COVID really broke us apart and kept us apart. But you can't live without that kindness, that love. We were designed to be with other people, and I guess in a lot of cases we are our brother's keeper. We always want to help those who need help.
Yeah.
And I love the process that you use, and you come in and you don't have to pre-register or qualify. You should maybe reserve a spot, but you can use the points. That's so interesting. So if I want this, I'm going to buy this at the store, but I'm going to go over here and I need this to supplement my money. You're really helping people to help themselves.
That's
and
right.
How do we know what changes? But the key thing you mentioned, Tina, was there's no judgment.
None.
We're not saying you're bad or there's no judgment. We're here to help.
That's right.
We're here to help.
That's right. That's right. And we recognize, again, I think I've said it so many times, we all have seasons. We all have seasons.
I like the way you say that.
Yeah, we do. And they look different for everyone. So we want people to normalize that. And we also, I think I used to work alongside someone who used to say, we need to destigmatize help-seeking behavior because we all need help. And that's okay. So we need to normalize that. And that's what we hope to do, too, at the Hope Center. Boys and Girls Home's a good example of that, and so many other great places.
Well, let's get people in touch with you. Okay, you want to know more about the Hope Center and any questions you might have? We have the expert here. And Tina, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the easiest way, it's funny, is to log on. I don't ever know my number off the top of my head, so that's why I'm like, but the easiest way is to call Sunnybrook Community Church. We're located inside the church. Or to log on to our website at sunnybrookhopecenter.org, and they can check out more information about how to get involved, whether they're interested in volunteering or if they're needing some assistance.
Well, folks, you heard that. Sunnybrook Hope Center is located in the Sunnybrook Church. So please, this is a tremendous program. If there's something that you don't need right now, but you may have a friend, please share the word with them. Tina, this is a great program. Hey, we're coming up toward the end of our show this week, and we always try to end our show with a joke. Humor is good for the soul. So here's our joke. If April showers bring May flowers, what does Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. No. That's my dad joke for the week. Okay. Hey, thanks, Tina, and thanks to our listening audience. I want to give a shout out to Joanne Keene, Lisa Corbett, and Jody Stevenson, the certified yoga instructors at Breathe Yoga, located in the Family Services Building on the campus of the Ginny Peterson Behavior Health. Classes are Tuesday, Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from 9:30 to 10:30. Call Monty at 293-4700 for information. The Stuff Thrift Teak. New stuff is arriving daily. Great time to update your spring wardrobe or furniture needs. Due to popular demand, we have extended our hours. When things aren't going, we'll be back next Saturday morning right here on 1360 AM, 94.9 FM, KSCJ. Your homework for the week is to go out and have a good laugh. May the sun shine on you.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
For more information on the services provided by Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, see them online at boysandgirlshomeiowa.org. Or you can call 712-293-4700 to get more information about family services, residential treatment, the Opportunity School, the Siouxland Family Center, and more. At Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, we change lives.